Okay, so this video is meant to walk you through the Incline challenge. It's similar to the Field of Friction lab in that you're going to have your block, you're going to have your force sensor that's connected to your spark link. You do need to weigh your block to know the mass of this. Just again, I know you did it in the Field of Friction lab, but it's just good practice to mass it every time. So remember that for the software, we're going to go ahead and select sensor data, and it should recognize that you have a force sensor. We're going to come over here and select force pull positive and the table and graph template. And recall that whenever you use a force sensor in a new experiment, the first run you should have is just to zero your force sensor. So I've got a tiny little reading on my graph, so I'm going to press 0 and it should calibrate it. Again, I don't need this run, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that run. So I go here, manage runs, just delete the last run. And remember that when you go to hang your block to measure it, you want it to be completely vertical. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my hook. And we want it to be kind of hanging still. Okay. So we don't want it wobbling around when we are measuring it. And we don't want anything else touching it as well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and press start. Okay. And remember, it's just a quick measurement. Remember, we want to know what the average of this run is, but we also want to increase the precision. So recall, to increase the precision, you're going to come down here to experiment tools, manage runs. No, we don't want to manage runs. We want data properties. We'll need to select our measurement, and we are going to look at the force pull positive and then the number format. And we want to go ahead and put that to 3. Okay. And that's going to give us our nice little average, or it's going to give us our increased precision, but we want to average it. So we're going to go here, select our statistics tool, and get the average value. Okay. So this is the average weight of the block, and so you could figure out the mass from that. Now, from here, we are going to do a similar experiment to what we did with Field of Friction, in that we're going to pull the block on our surface. So you need to have some kind of a surface that you can incline. And so it needs to be kind of a long enough surface that you can incline it over here on this side. So I just have a book. You guys could use just anything that is, a little bit bigger than a foot long, so that you can incline. So I have a pretty smooth surface, so there's not a really big coefficient of friction here. So it's going to be hard to see when I just barely tug this. So to make this a little bit more accurate, I'm going to use my weights that I had from before, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put them all in because my surface is really smooth. If you happen to have a more gritty surface or one that has a little bit higher coefficient of friction, you can kind of estimate, then you don't need to have as big of a weight on your object, but this just will allow me to know for sure when I have pulled it just to get it moving. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new run, and I'm going to pull completely horizontal until I can just get it moving. And again, you don't want your surface to move, so I'm going to hold my book down. I'm going to pull just until it begins to move. There we go. Press stop. And I want to know what that maximum value is. Right now it's showing me the average. So when I go to my statistics tool again, I click it, I unclick it, I click it, and here I want to have my maximum value. I'm going to select OK. And for this run, my max value was 1.429. What I want you guys to do is I want you to do this 5 times to get an average value of what that maximum is. So I'm going to press start again. So you'll have to actually write this down, 1.42. Do another run. So this time my maximum was 1.368. Run it again. This time it was 1.338. So you can see my first one was a little off, but again, you're going to get it. So you have 5 trials, same weight, okay, same amount of weight, just pulling it 5 times, getting that average maximum reading for the 5 trials, and then you will average those 5, okay? And then you're done with the software. So what you'll do then is you will do some calculations on your finding what the coefficient of friction is. And then once you have the coefficient of friction, you are then going to determine what is the maximum angle you can have your surface at before it begins to slide down. So I have already kind of calculated that for my surface. And I found that when my angle was 12 degrees, I kind of have to prop my book up against here so it doesn't move. So you're going to use your angle indicator and you're going to measure out what that angle is. And you definitely want to have kind of like a zoomed in little picture of this. You're actually going to show me a video of, you'll have to probably set your phone up a little bit stationary and show the video of your incline there. So that's my 12 degrees. And then I can put my block up there and it shouldn't move. And okay, and then my video then is going to show that if I just begin to barely increase my angle, it slides. Okay, so that is the incline challenge.